So let's get started. So create a Xcode project. Choose single view application. Don't choose this one, okay? Choose this one. Click next. We give it a name. No matter what kind of name you like. Swift storyboard and check all of this. And put in a location, okay? You can choose whichever simulator you like. I choose iPhone 8 because it consumes less resources on computer and also is small on the on my screen, okay? Make sure you can build it without problem, okay? It should be without any problem because we haven't done anything yet, right? You can move this simulator to the right of your screen if you are developing that in one screen, okay? So there's nothing here, okay? And what we want to do in today's tutorial is that we want to teach you guys how to build multiple view controller. So and how to pass information and save information to the iPhone itself, okay? And I'm going to use the assignment 2 as an example. Okay, cool. This one is good. So if we design a game application like assignment 2, the first thing we want to do is we should study how many pages we have got, right? So we got a login screen, right? And we got this kind of screen. And we got a high score screen, right? And we got this actually game, okay? So before we only have one view controller, right, in the calculator, right? Now we have multiple, and we have this little connection in between, right? This connection we call it Segue in Xcode or iOS, okay? It's just like a tube or a pipe, right? Connect to view controller, okay? So the first thing, like we want to build a several view controller like this, and then I'm going to show you how can we build multiple view controller along with the code together, okay? So let's first build it, okay? New game and set high score, right? So we create a button. You left click and drag the button to the wheel controller here, okay? And give the name new game. we can make it bigger, right? We can change the okay, guys, the right panel is super important. It is just like the PS or a Word that you can set all the font size and the color. So any time you want to set this kind of thing, you just use this as if you are using other software, right? Very straightforward. Okay. So I'm going to change the font here to maybe 30, 40. Okay. This looks nice to me. Okay. And high scroll. Okay. You can create a new button in here again, and you can also like you can also click hold the Option or Alt key and make a new one. Okay, make a new one. Okay, or you can copy and paste. It's just like how you would use other software. Okay, it's no different. All good. And we will name this one high scroll. Okay. Now we got the first screen. We don't need to run it, right? It's no surprise. Just add two buttons, right? And we want to create. Let's create which one? Okay. Let's create. Let's create this page. Okay. So when we want to create a second page, okay, it becomes interesting. Okay? Become interesting because we need to, let's say, okay. So click here again, and let's search for view controller. And I will drag this view controller to the Xcode storyboard here. Guys, don't forget this step, okay? It will not automatically show up even you create a code here, okay? You have to create this view controller, this page, in the storyboard and in the code we are going to show you later. So you have to create two and connect these two as a whole process. You understand? So you first drag this thing here and here, okay? And we make in order to prevent you from forgot the whole process, let us create the code immediately after we create view controller in the storyboard. Okay, so the way you create the code is you select the menu in file and a new file. Okay, or you can use the shortcut Command+N. Okay, and remember to choose this Coca Touch class. Okay, Coca Touch is just a UI kit. Okay, it's no different. It's just a historical reason for using this name. Okay, choose this one. Click next. Make sure it is subclass of UI view controller. Okay, you can choose others. Later on for your own need, but you must choose this thing here. Do not choose things like NS object or UI view. It will not work. Okay, choose UI view controller, and it will automatically give you a class. Do not use this one because we already got this one, right? So we need to give it a new name. We give it a new name called a login view controller because we have to put the user in name in that view controller. Okay, do not check this one. This is for legacy code. Okay, and choose Swift. Click next. Guys, this step is super important. make sure you check this target, okay? If you forgot to check this or you unchecked it accidentally, none of this will work, okay? Because only after check this, you are making sure this file is in this project. Otherwise, it's just a random file, okay? File. Not take effect on this project, okay? Basically, you change nothing if it looks like this by default. You click create, and you are going to create a new wheel controller file, just like the one that the system automatically created for you. So far, so good, guys. This is step 2, okay? And step 3, you go back to main storyboard and click on the wheel controller you just created. You just drag into. Remember, guys, there are 2 things here, okay? You see? Even this one didn't highlight it, but when I click here, the highlight disappear here, okay? So there are 2 things, and you can check that by, see? This is the wheel, okay? This is the more obvious, okay? This is the wheel. This is the wheel controller, okay? If you want to choose wheel controller, click here or here, okay? Not this one, okay? So you click the wheel controller, this one, and you click the right panel, okay? And you change to this tab. It's called, the name is hard to remember. Show Identity Inspector, okay? Forgot about the name, just remember there is a customer class here, okay? So inside here, you must do this step before the things wrap up, okay? So you must input the name of your just created the wheel controller .swift, the code, the class name for it. So in this case, it's login wheel controller. And if everything is working, it will automatically pop up like this. You can just let it autocomplete. And don't forget to press return on the keyboard. Only in this way, these 2 things connected, okay? You can check that, verify that, by click the little arrow on the right. There's a little arrow here. Click that. It will automatically jump into the code that you just created. See? So if it is like this, it's working, okay? Make sure you done this before you're doing any actual work, because a lot of sometimes students ask also why this button not work, why this thing cannot insert into the code. That is because you mess up something with the step we just followed, we just done, okay? We have just done. So make sure you follow these 3 steps, okay? That's it. That's the process for create a new wheel controller. 3 steps, okay? 1 in the storyboard, 2 in the code, 3 connect. Make sure you check all the boxes that you should check, okay? And also type in the things here, okay? All good. And now we go to the, okay. Now we design this page, right? Enter your name and text field and start, okay? We ignore these 2 things here for now, right? For time's sake, okay? But that's not a big deal if we able to figure out the mechanism here, okay? So we put a label here, okay? So this is also how you develop an application. You just copy what's in the design prototype and copy that into your Xcode, okay? So let's do enter your name, okay? do a label. Okay, enter your name. And this thing called test field, that where you can got user test. Okay, you see that many times in your everyday life, right? So just find this test field, drag that into here. Okay. The appearance doesn't matter. You adjust that to your favorite at your time. Okay. So that's that. Okay. We add a new button here. And we change this to, okay, this is already done, so I copy this thing. Okay, give it a new name, start. Okay, so ignore this two things for now. Okay. And then now we can connect this to, if we run by now, it will only have this page, right? Because there is no connection. How can we connection? It's very straightforward. We just click the button that we want to trigger the transaction. And we use right click. Okay, right click and hold, press and hold, and drag into the wheel controller here. Okay, it will highlight like this. Okay. Sometimes this right click not work. You can press Control and left button. It will also the same. Okay. And in the pop-up window, we select. In the pop-up window, we select Show under the action segue. Okay, this is the way that you create a segue. Okay, ignore the others for now. We only use a show for now. Okay, show. Okay. So if you build your application, it should be like this. See, we click New Game. The page is pop up. It's not what we expected, but it is working like this way right now. Okay, make sure yours is working the same as mine. Guys, is it working the same way? Confirm that on your side, please. Yeah, cool. What about others? Do we only got 2 students following? Guess it will save you huge amount of time if you're following on the tutorial, okay? Other than figure it out by your own. Okay? I have been there, okay? I am a beginner too. Once, okay? It is very frustrated if you can't figure something out and you cannot find the answer on Google, okay? Yes, please follow up very closely, okay? Yes, so this is not what we want, right? We want, like the design says, it looks like this, okay? This is what navigation controller is. And what here is, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of pop up, right? So we don't like this, okay? We want a navigation style. how can I do that? Okay, stop the program and go back to storyboard and click this wheel controller like before. And in the menu, there is a thing called editor, and select embed in. There is a thing called navigation controller. Okay. It's not very obvious in the menu, but they design it this way. Okay. Click it. It will automatically create the third wheel controller automatically for you. As long as with this segue, you don't need to worry about that. And also it changed the appearance of your third, of this one. Add a little button here. Okay. Make sure yours look the same. And we build it again. And this time when we click new game, see? And then back. Okay? Nothing, other button didn't do anything yet, but this function already works, right? This is how you create transition between the different pages of wheel controller. Okay. All good. If you got any issue, let me know. Stop me at any time. Okay. And now, what we left? Okay. So cool. We have already done a lot, right? We have done this one, done this one. Okay. We now need to done another page, right? And another page. Okay. Let's design the third page and the fourth page. Okay. Actually, guys, I would like you guys to do it. I think there's no much difficult to do it. Okay. I will give you guys 5 minutes, and we continue after you're building this two pages. Okay, sounds good. Okay, guys, I see most have already finished. I'm going to do this without explaining. If you haven't finished yet, don't worry, continue. So I gave it a name called Game Wheel Controller. Okay. You can have your name, of course, but just to tell you guys. And I created another thing called Score. By the way, you should follow this naming convention. Okay. Don't forget to connect them. It's not a good practice to what I done. You should connect once you create, but I just want to save time. Okay. There's a way how you do it, right? Let's add some element. Okay, we don't need to code too much at this stage, but to make it feel more right. Okay. So there is a score here, right? High score time. Okay, we only need score here right now. Okay, and there is a home player high score. Okay, cool. And also we want to connect this to C, right? So show Segue and also high score. Show. Okay. And we add some label here. Score. Okay, this is not quite right. This is button. Okay, I mess up. Jesus. Okay, these are all buttons. Okay, sorry guys. I have to change this. To be honest, it doesn't matter. You can disable the button and make it work like a label, right? But I don't want to misleading your guess. Okay, this is button, no problem, right? Okay, cool. Is this how you guys design? I mean, is it looks like the same? Okay, if I press new, okay. Okay, so far so good. Let's continue. Okay, if everyone is happy with the code. Any questions so far? Guys, any questions? Okay, cool. Let's continue. Okay, so we have already built up the framework, and now we're going to think about how we can make it more like a real. Okay, we definitely don't want to build game logic here, right? That's that certainly cannot be done in several minutes. Okay, but we want to achieve some functionality here. Okay, so one thing we want to achieve is, okay, so when user, okay, you should be able to enter your name here. Okay, right? It's just that you use your keyboard. Okay, oh, I think this should be pop up some virtual keyboard, but actually it's not. Anyway, you can put your name here. And what we want to do is we want to show the player name in here somewhere. Okay, right? Makes sense? To let the game controller know that who is playing this. Okay. And besides this, we would like to, to find a way to fake the score, right? It is not very interesting. It's always showing the 0. Okay, so let's done this one by one. Okay, so first let us fake a fake the store here. Okay, how can we fake it? We add a button. Okay, so let's say I copy this button here. Okay, why is not work? Okay, we add a button here and we call it add 1. Okay, whenever we press this button, we add 1 score to the current score and we show it here. Okay, so this takes some work to do. Okay, how can we do that? So this use the same knowledge that you learned from the calculator, right? So we need to add a action outlet from this button, right, to the code, and then we also want to add a outlet property from this label to the code, and whenever we press this one, we add this number by 1. Make sense? So here is how can we do that. So this is why I said you need more space when do coding, right? Because you need to have the code on the side with this thing. The way you do it is that you select this one and you click here on the right up corner, and you click this assistant. Okay. Okay. It didn't give me any luck. Okay, let me try again. Okay, this time it works. Okay, guys, do this. Click this simulator here, or you can choose this view. Okay, it doesn't make sense to me, but they designed this way. You click this view. Okay, it should actually be this view controller. Okay, you should click this view, and you click here. You click the assistant. Okay, and it will open up the corresponding part of this wheel controller, and make sure it's the same, right? Game wheel controller, game wheel control. Okay. Guys, sometimes this thing doesn't work, unfortunately. So when you have to manually do this, okay, I'm showing how to do this. It's very annoying, okay? You just click this thing on the right, add editor on the right, okay? You create two editor, okay? The same function here. And no matter which one you like as the storyboard, for example, I use the left one as the storyboard. You choose the storyboard again, and you scroll to here, and in the right, you click here, and anywhere, and you just manually choose the game controller to this view controller. Okay, clear? Choose this one. Okay. This time is also in pair, but you manually match them. Okay. The previous way is automatically match, but sometimes it doesn't work. Okay. You'll be aware of this thing. So in this way, let's say I think you already know how to do it, right? You just right click on the button and then drag this thing here, and then it says insert action outlet or outlet collection, right? You just select the action, right? And you give it a name. Okay, add one score, right? And you click connect. Guys, if you follow me every step, there should be no problem of doing this step. Anytime you have a problem doing this, the issue is that you didn't follow the step that I showed you guys previously. It's step 1, 2, 3, okay? There may be some issue in any step, okay? So as long as you follow that step, there should be no problem of doing this, okay? Does everyone okay of doing this? Okay. Do not ask me why I cannot insert button action again, okay? I told you the reason, okay? So if it connection properly, there should be a dot inside here, okay? And they will highlight it, okay? It's clear show these two things are connected, okay? And we also need a outlet here, okay? This 0, okay? And then we give it a name, current score. Click connect. It should also have no problem, okay? So far so good. And now we want to add one score. I mean, add one whenever we press this button. Okay, so we can do it by this way. We can get the current score, right? The current score equal soft current score dot test, right? This is optional, right? Guys, optional, okay? So remember I said to you that score is optional, right? So and we want to change it to int, okay? Okay, we got this store. Okay. I think. Okay, we have to add the question mark here because we are double unwrapping, right? Okay. It's very annoying here. So I don't want to default value. Let's go. What? Why is that? I don't want to use force unwrap, but he's doing this to me. Okay. Let me do this. Text unwrap. This should already be a test, and we change this to int. There should be no problem. Ah, see, sorry, guys, my mistake. And score, right? And now we want to set the current score. Equal string score. New game and enter our name. Okay. There's the space is not enough. Oh, good. Have you guys? Do you guys have any problem with this code? Oh, good. Okay. I was annoyed by this complaint. Okay. Anyway, okay, we finished this fake add one function, right? And now we need to, okay. Now we need to pass the name we added here. Okay, how can we do that? And the way we are doing this is okay, we close this editor. Okay, this view controller's name is login view controller. Okay, So we go to login wheel controller, and we write a method. The method called you have to add override here because it's a system built-in method. The function called prepare. You wrote prepare here, and prepare for segue and sender, blah blah blah. And you see it's notified the wheel controller that a segue is about to be performed. Okay, this is exactly what we want to get. Okay, we want when user after enter the name, they will press this thing. Okay, when they press this thing, the segue is about to be performed, and at that time we got the username, right? So this is a perfect timing for way to do something, right? So we call this function. Okay. So now we want to know how. Is there any way we can like pass the information from this page to next page? Okay. So luckily, the segue, I mean the connection, the tube, the pipe in between is this variable. Okay. And we want to find if there are any interesting method or property in this variable. Luckily, the first one that pop up is exactly what we want. It's called the destination. Okay, it is said the destination wheel controller for the segue. Okay, that is exactly this wheel controller, right? So we got destination. Okay. And for simplicity, we just pass the name from here. We just show the name on the title. Okay. So the title is called a navigation item. Okay. Ignore the name. Just the name is this way. Okay. You have to call this, and it has a title. Okay. You have to call .navigation item .title instead of .title. Okay. It is the designed by Apple. Okay. So the title is what? Okay. Should be the text field, right? The text field's content. Makes sense, right? So we should be able to self blah 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 text field dot some string, right? Okay, this is what we want, right? But however, this thing doesn't exist yet, right? We don't have anything here, right? So we have to figure out how can we retrieve this information. Okay, so as always, we have to follow the same pattern. We have to make this thing a property in this class. Okay, so we go back to my storyboard, and the same technique here. We click this one and click this assistant. Okay, make sure it is the wheel controller, right? Make sure every time. Okay, and right click drag the outline here. Okay, we call it the name test field. Okay, and let's check, is there any property in this test field? Okay, there is a thing called test. It looks like this thing is what we need. Okay, so everything you can find in the attribute inspector, you can find that in code. Okay, so I just want to find this name easily, so I checked here. Okay, so in here, so now we can access this thing, right? It's called name test field. Okay, what? Test. Right. Okay. and it is a string. It is an optional string, right? So again, if name equal so why I do this? Guess why I do this? Not only for safe unwrapping, right? Yes, it is for safe wrapping. And what we can do in the else? Guess this is kind of a point that you should think of, right? So if I cannot safely unwrapping this, what it means? It means there's nothing here, right? Should you let the user open the game without entering his name or her name, right? You definitely need to do something, right? Guess. Make sense? Either by notify a user or give a warning or not even let him play the game, because you will later on encounter a problem if without the name, right? Make sense? So that's it. That's how we pass the information from the segue to the next page. Okay. Obviously, we can like destination. We can pass more things. Okay. Here. I don't want to overload you guys. So let's see what's happening here after I set this line of code. A new game. Gym. Let's see. You see? The gym is here, okay? And let's say, okay. Is everyone got the same result? Guys, make sure it verifies that on your side, okay? Cool. So now we continue developing, okay? So let's say by somehow you already developed the game, okay? And now Jim got 33, right? Sorry, 42, okay? 42. And what do you want to know? Okay. What do you want to know? If we click back, okay, everything lost, right? Idea? So we need save this information, right? We need save this information somewhere in the iPhone persistently, okay, or permanently, okay, right? This is called data persistent. It's a fancy word, but it's just like you save your saving, right? Sorry, you save your record, right? When you do a game, right? You save, right? And then you want to load it in here, okay? So if we can find a way to record, to save the game result information every time, we can definitely find a way to achieve the scoreboard paging. Okay, we can finish every function there. Okay, the only thing left to do is sorting, which is relatively easy, right? You already know how to do that. Okay, so at this stage, we want to a function to save the result, right? And when should we do that? We should do that just before user, just right after user click the debug, right? Just after this peer about to disappear, right? Make sense? Let me repeat again. So when this page is about to disappear, that means, okay, the user is finished the game, right? You may able to design different logic here. This is just one way to do it. You can also, like, we add a button called save. So only after the user click save, I will save the data. Okay, you can choose any method you like, but we just need to find a way, a timing to do that. Okay, the timing I found as a demo is like when user press this thing, we just save the score when user press this button. Okay, clear? So let's go back to the game wheel control. This is this wheel controller, right? And I'm going to find that timing I just described to you guys, right? Luckily, why I say that? Because I'm cheating, right? I already know that there is a function that will notify us when the wheel will disappear. Okay, it's just like a what I said, right? Wheel will disappear. There is a system built-in function for that. Okay, it says notify the wheel controller that its wheel is about to be removed from a wheel hierarchy. Okay, forget about this fancy hierarchy or whatever, right? It just means it's about to be disappear. Anyway, right? Okay, so we want to save the score here. Okay, make sense? So the way that we're doing it is like we have many ways to do that, guys. Many ways to do that. But one way is using the user default. Okay, you can have a look like the article that the lecturer shared about the user default to learn more detail. But you can just think of it at some kind of data center that you can put data in whenever you want. You can retrieve it whenever you want, and the data will not be lost even after you terminate your application, even after you reboot your iPhone. Okay, that's it. It's very easy. I'm just going to show you guys how to use it. Okay, so let's first retrieve the score here, right? It's the same. Okay, this is the score, right? The score. We don't need to add one more. Okay, add one. This is the score we want. So I forgot first to get the score and username, right? So this is the way that we got the score, right? This is the score, right? And the username is score, right? Self.navigation. Remember, there is a thing called title, right? So username equals this, right? So we can just since it's also unwrapping, optional, we can also let this thing, okay, let use. You can chain and wrapping things together. Okay. Anyway, we can change to light since we are not going to change that anymore. Okay. So we got these two things, right? And now we want to user default. Okay. Let we get a user default equal the thing called user default system define. Okay, and a property called standard. Okay, you just get this user default instance and you save data for it. It's pretty straightforward. Just set, okay, set value. This is called int, right? Set value the score number. Okay. For key is a string, right? You just give it name string. I give it a string score, right? And user default set, and we want a this. Okay, there is no string, so we just use any. Okay, anyway, we can also use any for this one. It's no difference. Okay. Username for the key, we got it name. Okay. This annoying. Okay. Go away. That's it. The will disappear when you get caught whenever the view is about to disappear. Okay, so at this point, we finish this function of storing. However, you're not going to tell, right? You just save it, and you don't have a you don't have a way to tell if it is safe or not, right? How can we verify that? So everything so far so good. Are you guys able to run this line of code? Okay, cool. Let's go back to startup. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate demo to finish. Okay. You know what we are going to do, right? We are going to load the saved information in here, right? In here, okay. So it is the same technique, right? See, sometimes it's not working. And in here, there is another timing. Let's see, another timing to set these two things. Okay, sorry, this should be name, right? Sorry. So there's the name and the high score, right? So whenever I enter this page, I would like to change this name to the name that I saved, to the high score to the score I saved, right? So whenever I come into this page, there is a method get called. It is the counterpart of what we just done. Instead of it will did disappear, there is a thing called will did appear. Okay, sorry guys, this will did appear. Okay, will did appear that it will notify us when the view is about to show. Okay, so here we want to do two things. One is get the name and score for user default, right? The data center, right? We want to get our data back. And two, we want set the label to the info we got about name and score, right? So to do that, as always, we need access to this label, right? So since we do this many times, I'm not explaining very slowly. So we'll give it a name label, okay? And score label. Okay, so the way that we got these two things. We already know how to do this second step, right? So we need to, second step is like self their name, label equals name, right? Sorry, name label the test equals name, right? Self their score label the test equals score, right? We only need to get the name and the score from user default, right? Let user default equal user default. The same code that we used before, standard. And how can we retrieve that? Let name equal user default value for key. Okay, there is a thing called value for key. Okay, that's handy, right? Value for key. Key name. Score, right? The thing is, they are, okay, the thing is they are any, okay? So you have to, let's say, you have, it's optional any, so you have unwrap and cased, okay? The things to do that is, the way to do that is, okay, we got that. I'm going to do it in a concise way. I hope that not confuse you. If it does, you let me know, okay? So if like user name equal, so you add if in the beginning is unwrap, right? And s string, okay? And as score as int. As int, so the score cannot be any is not convertible to string. Do means s before. Okay, I think there's another way to do this. String value, right? Okay, sorry guys. There is a thing called string, so I don't need to force unwrap. Okay, string. I don't need to do s. Okay, there is a thing called integer. Okay, sorry guys. So you just need to unwrap it. That's it. And name equal name is no problem because this is string, and the score is integer, right? So we need change this to worst. Change it to string. I guess this shouldn't be no problem, right? Why? I add this, it complain. I remove this, it's also complain. It's not working. Must have optional word. Okay, guys. It's not optional. Sorry, guys. I remember. Okay. So it says it's not optional. We don't need to unwrap it. Okay. This is enough. It's a little tricky. Okay. What? Okay. Light. Too many try and errors. This is how you do the code. Okay. So remember that last time we gave Jim some score. So we didn't do anything. And we even closed this application and it became this score. Okay. That's it, guys. It's your turn. Make sure you can reproduce the same result. Any questions? Okay, no questions? I can see a clear issue. I mean, if I am a student. Okay. Is there any issue here? Anyone notice? Yeah, okay. So let's first identify the issue, okay? The issue is, right, you already noticed, right? So it changed, okay? It's changed to Jim 15, okay? Is that the same, right? In your side, right? Is it good for user? No, right? Jim, Tom, you think it's better to do it in view did log? Can you try and tell us the result? Yeah, can you try and tell us if that fixed the issue? See, we copy this code, right? And then we comment this, right? We do this here, right? Let's say if Tom's approach fixed the issue. Yeah, it works, right? Good, great. So there is no transaction anymore. Okay? So the thing is, when you do it in the view did disappear, okay? The predefined already show, and then you change it. There is a change in here, okay? And you can fix this by either put the code in here, like Tom said, and also there is another function called will appear, right? Remember that the thing we called will disappear. There is also things called will appear, okay? And we can also put the code here. It also works, right? So there is no one way to fix the problem. Okay, so it is called before the will is appear. So that is why it means will appear. Okay, you can also do things here. Okay. So if you review this week's lectures recording, you will see that he introduced the life cycle of the wheel controller. Actually, there are in total 5 methods. You got the notification. Okay, so you can choose where you want to do things at any one of those functions. Okay, so if you download the book that we want you to download in the tutorial, there is a thing called life cycle. By the way, this is a good book. Highly recommend you refer to that. Right? So there is a chapter called 3.8, Wheel Controller Life Cycle. So in here it says that in iOS, the wheel controller can be found in one of the several different states: wheel not load, wheel appearing, wheel appeared, wheel disappearing, wheel disappeared. Okay, so in this state, different method got called. Okay, before there's nothing here, right? And then wheel did load, right? At this point, the UI not rendered yet. Okay, so to be honest, I didn't know that we can fix this in wheel did load in this case, because sometimes it cannot doing things here because the name label and the score label are not loaded yet, so you cannot set things here. I mean here, but you can set things here. So anyway, you know this different kind of state. If one place not working, you can change to another one. Okay, so the thing is will did load and will appear, and okay, after will appear is did appear. Okay, and when it will disappear, it first called will disappear and did disappear. Okay, so you can review this chapter or the lectures recording later to get a good place to insert your code. Okay, but by the way, we should call super. Okay, it doesn't affect much in our application, our simple application, but if it's complex, we will get trouble, right? So if we don't write this line of code. Okay, we should always call the father's method. Okay, in object-oriented programming. Okay, that's it, guys. That's it for today's tutorial. Any questions? I hope this template can help you guys to get started with the assignment too. Okay.